My brother has Crohn's disease. He had a tough spell in his mid-20s. And I'm sure laying in that hospital bed, he said, what am I doing with my life? And he decided he wanted to be happier. And he decided that the marketing company we were building was successful, but it wasn't making him happy. So he decided and said to me he wants to leave and start a sports agency, wants to be an NFL agent. And of course, you know, I'm the older brother by 11 years. So I'm like, I want to support him blindly. I was like, shit, now I got to do this whole agency thing by myself. And of course my brain goes to where I'm at, like, well, let's become the biggest. And he's like, whoa, 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 like, I'm doing this for lifestyle a little bit more. I'm like, I don't care, you want me involved, we're going, you know? And I was like, but we found our balance. Nonetheless, the CAA-WME thing's a great call out. I love competing. And when you love competing and you love the game, you may hate to lose, but you have to respect the outcome. So I think a lot of entrepreneurs hate on fellow entrepreneurs, and it drives me crazy. I understand it, but for me, the answer to your question, this is for everyone listening, no matter what you do. Just because Ice Spice and Cardi B and Nicki Minaj are successful female rappers has zero to do with your ability to become a successful or Sexy Red. Sexy Red and Ice Spice did not get stopped by Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. No one on earth, no organization, no person is actually stopping you from your thing. The world is abundant. There was no part of me that was like, oh my God, it's impossible. Of course I knew it would take us 10 years to build a reputation to allow us to get to the #1 pick. And because CAA would go into the living room and say, we've repped the last 50, you know, and we would be like, hey, we know marketing. Like I knew that was, you know, a knife to a gunfight at first. But here we are 8, 9, 10 years later, and we're starting to get very different outcomes and athletes. And so it's just putting in the work. It's not saying no, right? To your point, a lot of this talk has been about mindset. If you've said no about anything, then that means it's already over. You're actually right, it's over. If you say maybe, it becomes a whole different life. And so CAA-WME didn't scare me, but I respect the piss out of them and Wasserman and all the other great agencies, but I'm gonna try to build the biggest. People sometimes hear me, like I did it earlier, I'll inevitably get a DM, be like, hey, heard you in Club 30, Henrik's class, you're trash. Really, this will happen. They'll say, you think you're gonna build fucking, who do you think you are? You think you're Jim Henson and Walt Disney? And I will reply. I will reply and say, no, I don't think I'm them, but I'm inspiring and I'm aiming for it. And I may not get there, but I don't even understand why I wouldn't try to. And I don't think I'm delusional. I think I'm capable. I've won in marketing. I've won in sports. I've won in wine. Like, I'm a winner and I want to go for it. I understand it's outlandish. I would even say out loud, it's unlikely to build an intellectual property that's as Disney, forget about it. Like it's gonna take everything I got and a hell of a lot of things bouncing in the right way, the puck bouncing the right way for me to get to that. But why wouldn't I try?
And so when you do start something new like that, how important is it to know where you're trying to go? Like the plan itself?
I think if you go super macro, at 11 years old, I decided I wanted to buy the New York Jets. I believe there's a direct correlation to the amount of success I've had based on that.
Is that happening?
I think it is. You know, I really have this weird feeling that in 20 years, I'm gonna pull it off. Like, look, the Johnson family may never wanna sell it. That's not in my control. What's in my control is, will I have the capacity to create that level of insane wealth? Because I don't do it for the money, it does scare me that I can't get there. I don't operate to maximize money, I operate to maximize joy. And so I don't think even though I've accumulated a lot of money, I'm very aware that I could have accumulated more. I've done a lot of high risk, high reward investing. If I just did real estate in the stock market, I would have more money. I'm aware of that. But if I want to get to my goals my way. You know, I'm about the process. You know, like, of course I want to hoist the Stanley Cup, but I can only control how I show up every day in front of the net. That's what you did. And much like being on a team, even though I'm the entrepreneur and even though it's all on me, I don't control the world. I don't control when inflation comes in. I don't control when, China does this. I don't control when there's an innovation that's invented like AI that takes away an advantage that I built for 15 years. I control my reaction to it. I can cry about it, or I can say, fuck, okay, let's put on the fucking helmet and go to work. So that's how I think about it.
Listen, we're running out of time, but before I let you go, I want to leave you with this. Other than the Jets winning the Super Bowl,
yes,
what else are you dreaming about right now?
Man, I love consistency. And so the Jets is the fun thing. And the real thing is, I dream every day for the 10 to 15 people that are closest to me to be okay. And genuinely, when you asked me earlier, are you seeing it the same way as you did 10 years ago, 20 years ago? That's all I've done, always. Please let the people I love be healthy and happy to the best of God's choices. And 2, put on my helmet and go to work. I don't know anything else. I'm so simple, guys. I'm fucking simple. It's so basic for me. I just see it so clearly. And I desperately want that for everyone else. And that's why I choose to do things like this for an hour. I got a lot of things to do. I do this because I know that this is, first, I admire the shit out of you and I was pumped to get to know you. 2, I know there's a lot of people listening that don't know me. This is enough out of my circle. And maybe you've seen me at the Garden or this and that, or maybe you've seen one thing about me. And I'm hoping that it inspires someone to be to think, my whole life is based on humans saying things that made me think differently. I think about that kind of stuff. And so that's the stuff that I think we need more perspective. And I'm hopeful to inspire someone. Do you know that there's 735 million people that don't have access to water? Clean water. 735 million. 10% of the earth can't get to clean water within a day, right? We get so caught up in our real lives. I mean, you are so fortunate. As long as everyone is healthy, everything that you worked hard for has created a very special life. And it's awesome. And you were born at the right time. We could have all been born in 1643. We could have been born in 1801, right? You could have been, going back to what I said earlier, we're not far removed from our great grandparents. Think about this, if you're born in Europe in 1901, right? You have World War I, you have World War II, you have a genocide of Nazi Germany, and you're 45 years old and you've lived through all that. You Black Plague, the Great Depression, right. We're just incredibly fortunate, most of us. And so please everyone, because inevitably something bad will happen. Unfortunately for all of us, most people live a life, unless you're the unfortunate one who dies early, which is terrible, but most of us will go through very hard heartache of losing the closest people to us, definitely who are older than us. Losing parents is fucking horrible if you love them. And everyone loves their parents even when it's fucked up, you know what I mean? So I think on the days that are good, really try to start enjoying them, because if you're complaining about your boss is a dick, or the Rangers lost to the Blue Jackets, you gotta put it in perspective. We need better perspective. You have all these Gen Z kids saying my parents, they fucked up shit and they're 24 and they're on the payroll, right? So first, it's really hard to say, well, I can't do it, or this sucks, and you're not changing the narrative for yourself, meaning our lack of patience of eating shit for a period of time to get to where we want to get to is gone. Gone. The reason so many people were able to make it was you thought that it would take 15 years for you to make it. Mm-hmm. Now you tell someone who's 21, it's gonna take 15 days to make it, and they're like, nah, man, I ain't got that time. I'm like, bro, yeah. All you got is time. Now, couple things. One, I'm generalizing. I've met an ungodly amount of 18 to 22 year olds who are on fire, who wanna fucking do it, right. Plenty of that. But it has become, because some people, popular culture is fucked up people, because Mark Zuckerberg could in 7 years, because of the internet, get to $1 trillion. Everyone's like, yo, the top 1% in America, the richest country in the world, the top 1% makes $650,000 a year. A lot of money. But every kid that's 19 is like, if you tell them, well, you're only gonna make $1 million a year, they're like, damn, I suck. They think it's like so easy. It's
Right.
impossible.
YouTube influencer money.
That's right. And so
OnlyFans.
everyone's confused. So a couple things. I get that. I understand why that's happening. Separation of wealth is an issue. It's all Roman
Wealth
Empire
disparity
shit.
is
Yeah,
really,
but here's
really-
my thing. As a human, don't be discouraged. Meaning, okay, the American dream. Listen, I love America. I immigrated here from the Soviet Union. I fucking love this place. But really, as a human, it's all about accountability. If I was 19 and somebody told me, bro, 10 years from now, it's a wrap. Nothing can happen here. My next question would be like, where does it happen? And if they were like Australia, I'd be like, let's fucking go. like to me, it's like, okay, like honestly though, it's like, there's always an option. Like I'm so pumped next year's an election year, mainly because all my buddies and friends and acquaintances and business associates are all gonna say the same dumb shit. If X or Y, whichever one of the two wins, I'm leaving. I've been hearing this for 20 years. There's not a motherfucker that moved to Canada.
Yeah.
Do you want to be in the frying pan or the fire this time around?
Neither.
Neither.
The ice box.
Well, I
eating some.
I think
cotton
2024
candy.
is going to be a good year because I think the Fed's going to start dropping the rate because
Yep.
it's an election year. Bitcoin halving. I
Yep.
think the crypto markets are going to
Yep.
start popping off. So
Yep.
then the real estate. Where are you at with the real estate market? If they're going to be dropping the rates, do you think
mean,
though that there's going to be more inventory or?
One thing I like is I speak with a ton of conviction of what I know, and I tread lightly where I don't know.
Don't know real estate.
I watch it. I'm a
Yeah.
human being. I like business. I like pop culture. It's all part of it. But no, I don't have the expertise. I think what I do have is I'm good at history. And of course, to your point, if interest rates start coming down, shit starts to happen. Of course, people aren't going to buy shit when money's got an 8% VIG on it.
Yeah.
And it did like this is very historical. There's also trend changing, meaning shit's changing. Like where people want to live, how people want to live. Now it's Zoom life. Like it's like when some kid the other day said, Gar, I'm just going to live around the world and do all my meetings. And I'm like, I get it.
And they can.
And they can. I'm like, I
Van
get it.
life.
I'm like,
Yeah, you like the van life.
yeah, bro. Like, I'm like, I get it. Like to me, everything's like, why not? Like everyone wants to look at yesterday without understanding where tomorrow's going. Like, why can't you be a kid? And by the way, once you make that shift, the places you can live, if you love the outdoors and you're a little bit more rural and stuff like that, like some of the shit, like sometimes I get weird and just Google shit. I'm like 900 acres do it right now. 900 acres in Pennsylvania. Like watch
Yeah.
this, right? You ever do
It's
this?
Zillow porn.
Yeah, it's like just click anything. Like I don't know, there you go. The first one, I don't give a fuck. Pay the fucking ad fee. Land.com. Like some of this shit, play, figure it out. I believe you. You've been very good at navigating this.
He's a Gen Zer.
Look at this. This shit's crazy to me. Here we go. 845 acres. Look at this. 808. Now that's 11. Do me what I'm looking for.
Andy,
Find
get
me
a-
like
Andy,
3
get a house
acres
on
for
it.
like $4. Go like least price.
Wyoming.
800 acres for $1.2 million.
That's like 800 soccer fields.
That's crazy.
Isn't this like?
That's
I look
crazy.
at this stuff. So I think about somebody who loves the woods. Actually, let's just use this 878 acres in Alabama. You got it right there, bottom left, fourth one down, if you don't mind, with the river.
Yeah.
Not that one. Go down, left, down, that right there. That's pretty, the creek. Let's just look at this for a second. Look, $3.5 million is a ton of money. Let's put things into perspective. 878 acres. So if you're someone who genuinely loves that life, and you wanted to live in New York City and work in New York City, and to get this kind of thing, you had to go to the Hamptons, where it cost $8 million for a half an acre.
Yeah.
Or you could just chill in fucking Odiville, Alabama, where the fuck this is, and have 878 and hunt every day, live off the fucking food in the land and the whole that shit.
Starlink.
And like, but you could go on Zoom all day from your fucking. And that goes for San Diego, and that goes for some tropical place that we
Yeah.
could probably Google now. Like the world's changing. And I love that. And so I'm not, like, honestly, I'm not worried about my mom made more money than me or the American dream's done. Here's the punchline. The American dream has been going on for 100 years, and there's been unlimited fuckers who've been losing.
More than 100 years.
That's 250. but branded as the American
Okay.
dream. Branded.
All right.
And during that time, Steve-O, unlimited dudes and gals were losing. The American dream was opportunity. Now it's going away. There will be unlimited opportunity for people in America and everywhere else. The question becomes, what are you gonna do about it? Because I promise you, if you stand all day and Google and go through your feed and completely believe that your generation can't have it as good as your parents' generation, well then it's a wrap and it's already over.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot, man.
Let me
real.
let me ask you
You
this.
find what you're looking for. You want to say the world's all fucked up? I can show you 900 things right now on the internet, and you're right. You want to say the world's awesome? I can show you 900 things and tell you. The problem is 95% are in that first part right now.
Is that victim mentality?
100%.
It's all perception.
It's easier to be a victim than you have to do shit about it.
What feels good to
Point. People love a good fucking point. I love when people think that the moment they're living in is when technology stops.
No, I'll go
This
for it.
iPhone is gonna look like a fucking beeper in 20 years.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be once Neuralink takes off, if it does, like that's going to be a game changer. But it would be weird to implant a chip into your brain.
I would do it.
Would you?
Let me tell you when I would do it. I would do it. I'm a second wave guy. I wouldn't be the first dude to do it
Yeah.
because I'm like, what's up with the cancer? But if you give me a few minutes of it and I understood, I'm definitely not going to be the holdout. Like why not?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, what do you
Well,
think?
it's a chip in your brain. That's kind of weird concept.
I get it, but like people put shit in their heart, and that was a weird concept to people
That's true.
70 years ago.
Yeah.
When people were like, yo, we can fix, everyone was dying of heart attacks back in the day. And then they're like, we're gonna cut you open and put a fucking thing on your heart. I would have been like, fuck you.
Yeah, at Amazon when you could pay with your palm at first, I was like, fuck that.
I
now
just
I'm
saw
like,
that for the
fuck, I just
first
wanna
time
do it.
yesterday.
I'm just
Oh
gonna
my
be like,
God.
"Bzzz."
I want everyone to know everything. I want everything to be frictionless.
Blockchain.
I was like, of course, blockchain. Wait till deep fake videos come out. Do you understand that we just did a full-fledged interview? And in 4 years, kids are gonna fuck around and change the shit we said on this, and it's gonna look like we said it.
Well, have you seen them on TikTok? They're taking.
Aren't they already doing that?
Yeah, they're doing
I'm
that with
talking-
Rogan podcast.
Of course.
Yeah, and
they're
they-
like, hey, my dick got bigger, but it's like him, but they're changing his voice to sell their product.
That's right. So what happened is the last 100 years, video has been, I would argue video has been the judge and jury of our society. If you see it on video, it happened. JFK did get assassinated. Like, video was the proof. We're about to go into the era of where you don't believe a single video. Over the next decade, all the
sense.
videos we're not gonna see. And then people are gonna understand why the blockchain matters. Because this episode, in 3 years, you're not gonna post on YouTube first, you're gonna post on your blockchain address first.
Your IO.
That's right, to show that this was real, and then go up. And then when I find it on the internet, I don't know if this doesn't exist yet from my knowledge base, they're gonna connect those two things. The blockchain's about to get uncomfortably important. Until you love yourself and really have self-acceptance along with self-awareness, until that happens, you will not have nice days. You will have anxiety, you will have down days, you will struggle. Here's what's so fucked up and amazing about this. You get to decide. Life is gray. Life is beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Literally for everyone who's listening. And I can like feel like somebody who's never heard of me right now, listening, crying. I can feel it. Carly, that's how intense, this is why I wanna stay, based on this momentum. Until you love yourself, nothing will happen. And good news, you're allowed to love yourself because you're the judge and the jury.
Yeah.
And you have to get out of blame to love yourself. You blaming your parents for shit is allowing you to have a package, a container to continue to not love yourself. We must become more emotionally accountable. We are capable. You are capable to get free meditation. You are capable to get free exercise, AKA like push-ups in your room, walking on a hill. There's unlimited, you are free to recognize that you're hanging around people that are negative, and you can start limiting that time, and you can go to the person that's most positive in your office and be like, hey Carly, I wanna be your friend. Can I take you out for lunch today? You are in control. Not everybody can afford therapy, but for those that can, Carly, do you know most people would rather buy a Chanel bag or a Porsche to cover up their hurt instead of spend those dollars on therapy?
Yeah.
Everyone,
But then
go ahead.
It's so tied with self-awareness because potentially they don't have the self-awareness to realize that's what they're trying to numb.
Well, what do you think? Correct, but what do you think I'm doing here? Ready? Very simple. This is a simple game. You don't have to be an emotional intelligence genius. Are you happy more times when you wake up than you are not? The end. You don't need to be how often are you happy? I wake up happy 90% of the time. 5%, 8% indifferent, and 2% anxious. That is off the charts numbers.
That is.
I'm not even asking for people to do that. I got the luck of the draw. I did a lot of work. There's a lot that went into me being here at 47. My question is, where are you?
Right.
Julian, what's your answer? Happy, indifferent, anxious, not great. Go, real talk, no bullshit.
75% happy, 20% indifferent, whatever the rest is.
5%. That's incredible. That makes me look at Julian, and I know him enough to be like, fits in the pocket. How about you, Carly? Real talk, no bullshit, vulnerable. Go with me.
Real talk right now, I'm 50-50.
Great.
I'm on a bit of a roller coaster.
I love
I'm feeling in transition in a weird stage in my life.
What you just did for everyone is everything.
Yeah.
You have an audience that looks up to you, likes you. Many of the people listening, whether you have 9 listeners or 900, look up to you. And for them to hear that 50% of the time that you wake up, you're meh.
Yeah.
For me, this is where if we were best friends, you would be 80, 90. I'll tell you why. I would have convinced you through the years of being together or over one important dinner that not knowing where you're going is not bad. It's actually cool.
Yeah.
Like what? Nobody really knows where they're going. A tree may fall on my head today. I didn't know that was gonna happen. Like nobody knows. Being comfortable with not knowing where the next turn of the roller coaster is, I have nothing but headaches. I had a lot of bad things happen today already. It's 3:24 p.m. I mean real things. Gotta fire a partner in one business, like somebody's sick, like personal stuff. Like I've had a rough day by everyone's standards besides the 5% of people that are like me.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah. Well, and I've seen the reps you put in. I go back often, I'm 33 right now. And it's a very stark difference from my 20s where I feel like I knew the next step. If I was transitioning, I kind of knew what was coming next. And this has been an interesting one where I feel the transition, but I don't know the next. And that's the
Were you
the magic part.
a good student?
Yes.
Makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
Everything I just heard is you knew the system, you knew how to get the A. There's a reason I got Fs. I don't give a fuck about the system is the problem.
Yeah.
You not knowing what's next is the best thing that happened to you. It's time for you to let go and know that you're not in control at all.
Right.
Carl,
Well,
you're literally not in control.
Yeah.
Maybe this podcast is the changing moment of your career. I think the biggest issue right now is that people are delusional or not self-aware. They think they're just good. I mean, the amount of kids that come up to me in the street and say they're gonna build $1 billion company, I mean, it's just talk. You know, self-awareness, what makes you happy? Just having more followers or more money does not make people happy. Liking what you do always makes people happy. You know, not being embarrassed of your insecurities is what makes people happy. So, you know, are you a creator? Are you an actor? Are you a winemaker? Or, you know, who are you? And I'm always fear as my popularity grows that a lot of the kids that watch me, or not even the kids, everyone, starts to try to be like me. And that the only thing that anybody should be like me in is that I was confident enough and patient enough to actually be myself. Which at the time, in 2006 when I hit the scene, in 2009 when I really hit the scene, cursing was very frowned upon. Dressing casual was very frowned upon. I didn't look, the amount of people that would say you look like you look great. But in reverse, in 2009, I would get hundreds of emails. You look like a bum. Nobody's gonna take you seriously if you don't wear a suit. Things that make people laugh right now, but that was my life. Don't talk about football, American football. I know where I am. You know, don't talk about, you know, don't talk about this. You want the best one?
Which one?
In 2009, when I started making business content, more than half of the comments that I got were for me not to talk about business because I should only stick to wine because that's what I know.
Whoa.
You know, that is probably, you know, I just said it for the first time this clear. I see D-Rock in the background making notes. I might not have something better to say right now than that. That more than half the people that commented on my content in 2009 made snarky comments that I should stay in my lane, that I'm just the wine guy. And I think that will be very good advice for a lot of people, because I know for fact, because I get so many DMs, the amount of people who no longer want to be posting what they're posting on Instagram, but because they were funny and a comedian, but now they're a serious business person. They used to be a model, but now they want to talk about their vegan food business. They used to be a serious businessman, but now they want to be a comedian. There's a lot of people, but they're scared because the first time they post something else, especially people that are attractive. I feel a lot of empathy towards people who are attractive. Their self-worth and their likes come from being attractive. Then they try to make one post about something else and it doesn't get as many likes and they feel insecure. And they'd rather get likes than be happy, which is crazy. So my biggest advice, number one, is self-awareness. Number two, make. Make. Everyone's thinking, they're working towards it, they're looking for their videographer, all these bullshit excuses to not make. People come up with 100 excuses. They're insecure, they're scared, they deep down don't think they can achieve what they're saying they're gonna achieve, and so they're not making. And number three is patience.
Yeah.
I cannot understand how people think that in a week or in a month or even in a year, they're gonna be so famous and so rich, and so it's delusional, and so patient. Insecurity is the seed that creates all these issues. And so I'm trying to figure out why they didn't build self-esteem, who didn't build self-esteem, and the reason I bring up mom is like, Jesus, it's such a big percentage of it. Mom or dad is like 80% of it. It's just, you know, I do this a lot, I'm fascinated. Listen, my dad, I don't talk a lot about this. That's what happened to my dad. My dad, I'm so impressed by him. The way my grandmother parented my dad is unacceptable. That's the only word I can think of. So I'm fascinated by it because I had the reverse. I'm so perfectly parented by my mother, I'm unstoppable. I feel guilty that I'm so emotionally grounded and strong. That's why I'm giving it to you. What do you think's happening up here? I feel guilty that I have it so good mentally. There's nothing anybody can do to my mental state. It's insane. I am so weird, guys. Nothing hits, it's like I'm numb. And so I go right to the core. I do it when I see it sometimes. I'm like, hey, you are unbelievable and you think you're shit. That's bad. We need to talk about this. Tell me everything about your childhood. And I just go there and, sometimes you get a little break sometimes, but what's really fun is they start thinking about it and it changes behavior. I get an email every day that says that they disconnected from somebody in their inner circle, and for the last 6 months, they're breathing for the first time in their lives. It is not easy to break up with your brother. It is not easy to break up with your spouse. It is not easy to break up with your father, but that's actually the binary move if they're the poison of your life. So, A, if that's your reality, you need to think, because guess what? You have one life. And you don't want to be 73 when your parent passes away and finally start breathing. B, if that is not your life, you need to drive home right now and kiss your parents in the face. A very big thing that happened in my career that I want all of you to hear, back to value for all of you, is I was the wine guy. I was on Conan O'Brien and Good Morning America, and I was the wine guy. And I wanted to my life was going through a transition. I knew that I was going to start this company, and my brother was in college and I wanted to start another company. And then I also at that point in my life knew, oh wait a minute, I'm a marketing business guy who also loves wine, yes, but I definitely associated with myself as a businessman more than a wine expert. And so I started making business content, right? And brother, what happened was everyone's like, what are you doing? What I don't think people understand is we have permission to do whatever we want. And so I think the question becomes, what would you like to happen?
I'm highlighting the fact that I'm a singer. I sing more in my content.
No, I love this. I'm following very along. Let me just jump in because I think I want to get to the punchline because I want to get as many as possible. I assume you want to be as commercially successful singer as you humanly can, yes? then you need to sing. Like, and you need to keep doing the things that are getting you attention. And you need to keep doing things that might get you attention, right? You see Andrew Tate happening. Look, obviously, I don't think, I'm sorry, it's not working. His username is bottom G, because Andrew top G, like you figured out, you figured out your thing, but like me, right? Think about how confusing I am as a creator to the world, and I continue to be. One post, I might post about VeeFriends, and you know this, you know what's going on with VeeFriends and you're into it, but a lot of my audience is like, I don't care, I don't like that NFT thing. And then the next post, I'm posting about the New York Jets score and I'm sad, and like, right? And that's the post, and like for a lot of people that are like following me because they're a Fortune 500 CEO trying to get a business insight, they're like, this is silly and I'm not even sure I want to take this guy serious because that's not, and then the next post I'm posting about like, here's a hack on Instagram, and a lot of you like that because everybody could get value from that. And so I'm doing a lot of, I'm in the and business, and you're asking me an or question. What I can definitely tell you is every third post that you put out, you need to sing.
Fair enough.
It makes sense, right? No, it's funny. I appreciate what you're doing right now because this has really worked for a lot of people. I understand what you're asking, and it's happening to everyone. Right? Like when I break it down this simply, it seems so like silly and common sense, but everyone's so conscious, subconsciously or consciously stuck on the algorithm and how to grow, they forgot why they're even trying to grow. Yeah, this happens with a lot of attractive people. There's a lot of people that have shown their body, both boys and girls, to build their audience, but that's not what their passion is. That's just how they get a lot of likes. They want to talk about cooking, or they want to talk about their car collection, or they want to talk about clothing. But the first time they post something like that, it gets 9 views. But if they go fucking all like thoughty, they'll get 40 million, and they're sad, and they're stuck. And I keep saying, like, what are you doing? Like, what are those impressions aren't worth anything if it's not what you're doing. But it can be and. You can do that to garner the attention, and you've just got to be, and the only thing holding back people from doing it, because it's so logical, is their own self-esteem issues of this post didn't do as well, or it's gonna fuck up the algorithm. It's all fear-based. And then a third thing, try new shit. Do you cook? Good, me neither. Do you like the third thing, like add a third thing and a fourth thing, garage sales, wine, the Jets, mindset, blueberries, VeeFriends, VaynerMedia, VaynerSports, basketball game, like things. And you know, but stay in the core, you know, yes, you find something that works, don't give that up unless it's completely killing you inside. Keep doing it, but what's holding people back is you do your bottom G skit or whatever you're doing and it gets 100,000 views. You go and do a song and you sing and it gets 49 views and you're like, fuck that, suck. And to me, I'm like, no, that's right. Because oh, by the way, to remind you, you just need one right person to hear you sing.
True. Yeah. Thank you, Bob. Great.
Got it. I think, honestly, I think that's, again, why I'm sitting on some of these today, because I think some of this stuff's universal. Like you're trying to build your law firm or your real estate practice or this, but maybe your golf content is helping you sell your real estate stuff. Maybe your AI observations leads to you selling your book. Maybe your parenting advice helps you sell your, you know I say this a lot. I know a lot of you have heard this from me. Watch what I do, not what I say. I'm showing a lot of things. And on top of that, on top of everything else, I do another thing that fucks everybody up on the reverse. I keep my private life private. On top of all that, what most people go to get likes, their baby, their relationships, like, you know I keep it tight. So you're in control. Oh, Gary, I don't want to do this. I don't want to show my kids. Don't show your kids.
Is that the same thing if you're building a company page as well? Do you show a bunch of different things, or if you're doing a company Instagram, do you stay focused on what the company does?
No, a bunch of different things. You're the secretary of the company, the office television show should be in play for all your businesses because it's you got it. I'm glad you picked up on that. The funny banter between you and your employees might just be why people even know that you sell XYZ. It's this game of and. Like if somebody said, bad news, you gotta write a book right now on top of the book you just wrote, I'm like, fuck it, I'll write and. Because I've been on it, like everyone's fucked up with or. brand is everything.
Yep.
There is nothing else. It's how humans make every decision.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so like, to your point, for some of us in this room, you'll feel comfortable to be in front of the camera. Good news, you don't have to. Just like I don't have to share my personal life, you do not have to be in front of a camera. But if I'm you, Dale, I create a mascot. Like, look what I'm doing with Be Friends. This is the extension of me. Like empathy, like I need to scale my message for my own enjoyment. I'm aware that not everyone's gonna like or listen to me. It's not how the world works. So I'm going from being Hulk Hogan to Vince McMahon. I'm gonna make a lot of characters. Now I'm on a mission, I'm still doing me, right? But we're doing a lot of work over these next, even look at, how many people saw the Alpha story on Resourceful Robin on Fanatics Live? Anybody? Raise your hands if you saw the card break. 2, 3, 4.
I didn't think so. No love for me.
No reason. So, you guys saw that, like even me going further to why I drew the Resourceful Robin. Like, I have no idea how affected or not affected, but watching Decisive Duck, Rare Robot, when that song came out, all of a sudden, just storytelling, connective points, why? And so, Dale, everything's a commodity. Like everything ends up being a commodity. Like it's so hard to not be a commodity. And so all of it becomes brand. Like what the fuck? Like everybody can make this for $9 or whatever the fuck it actually costs to make at scale, we all understand. So it's all commodity. You need to create a brand and if you could do it as a human being, that's epic. Because that's what you're doing locally. It's you, the human. You're shaking hands, kissing babies, like high touch, warmth, scaling through content. Whether it's you or something, or something that people can attach to. Do you know why a lot of companies are called ABC delivery or laundry? It was because the yellow pages, right? You would show up first. But now that's bad, because it's a commoditized brand, right? And so brand.